Number 36, betaed. I'm not sure that's even a word, but I did it. One of the bloggers I follow on Tumblr had written a story and needed a beta. My brain, once again, without my knowledge or consent, wrote her and volunteered my services. She said yes. It was part of a really cool series that she had been working on. This took some work because I didn't know if she wanted an editor or just someone to read it for flow. I'm an editor in my core, so I'm just pretending that I could read it without pointing out what needs to be fixed. I've read only a couple of books in my life where I didn't find a typo. My brain just goes there, and here we were, editing, for a young woman living in Paris. I was panicked that I would piss her off. I was worried about overcorrecting. I was worried about undercorrecting, because then she'd have an inferior story. But I'd get to still be polite. I just did my job, though, and we have since had conversations about other things, and she helped me later on for a different number on the list. No spoilers. For as stressful and scary doing this list is, and it so is, it is also exhilarating. Turns out I can beta from bed. Sometimes bravery is learning as you go. Episodes of Broken to Brave are released every Tuesday and Thursday. Thank you so much for listening and for joining me on this journey of healing and growth. If you want to go deeper into this story and hear it from a spouse's perspective, my husband and I have a Patreon-only show where we have an extended, behind-the-scenes discussion of every episode, which also posts twice a week. Here's a sample of our latest Patreon-only companion podcast. Well, this is not quite that, because we only have the series and 2 movies, so it's not like we have all the new things being developed. I mean, It's like we have that.
But that age out
But
feel.
it's just kind of funny where I was like, oh my God, is she going to be like, oh, it's like having my mom beta for me, put your sweater on. This scene
I'm going to beta, but I'm having a big lunch before I beta.
Exactly.
Do you need some jeans? Because I have some jeans.
Yeah. So I really...
By the way, that is not you.
It's not. Oh, God, no. And this wasn't. I mean, our conversations were hardly that. But at the same time, it's like you do worry and you think, yeah. And I don't know what I'm doing. I mean, she might be better off having one of these other people who have baited for years that know what they're doing. I don't know what it even means. But we did fine, and we built a relationship around it, and she's not on anymore. But for a long time, we had, we'd go back and forth, and and I love all of her writing, and she ended up taking it all down.
Oh.
And
but you're still friends with her, right?
Oh yeah, I wrote her the one day recently because somebody had posted, I've been looking for this one story, and I'm like, I know that story. And so I wrote her and I said, somebody's looking for it. And I said, well, did you take it all down? Like, why did you take everything down? She just didn't. She just wanted to start a different chapter of her life, and she didn't. So she's like, okay, I'll put it back on for them. But she's, extremely talented, and I hope she does great things with her writing going forward. Doesn't have to be fan.
So many people that Molly's been interviewing authors. So many of them
wrote fanfic.
They started with fanfic, and some of them are still doing it.
Yeah.
And they're like, I love it. And we know people that, like actors that we've met, who you'll start talking about it, and then they'll go, oh, well, I write Assassin's Creed fanfic. I've been writing it, for 3 years. And you go, what? And they're like, yeah, it's the one thing I can't stop writing about. So I've just created like a whole fanfic thing. I've heard this from so many people.
Well, it turns out that it's a really great, even for people who can't write. There are plenty of people who are not writers.
It's a great outlet.
But it's such a great outlet for them to be able to go, I really want to know what it would have been if they had gone this way. I want to know what it would have been like if they had done this, or if this had happened, or whatever. And it's just a way for you to get to explore the world a little bit more. And it's a way for you to have fun with your friends and do this, and your friends read it. And then it's like, or other people in the fandom. If you don't have friends who like it, you have other people and everybody's support. Well, I mean, if you're in the right fandom, they're supportive of each other and kind.
There's toxic out there too.
But I think that
anyone can do it, and it is sort of, I mean, not everyone does it exceptionally well, but anybody can do it.
So here's what I'm thinking as you're saying this. I just realized that fanfic is the podcasting of the literary world.
That's 100% what it is. It is typically unprofessional.
To hear the rest of this episode and get other exclusives, become a patron to Broken to Brave at patreon.com. You can also follow my blog at brokentobrave.com for even more insights and engaging content. Links are in the show notes. Broken to Brave is a production of Southgate Media Group, hosted and written by me, Martha Southgate. Thank you so much for listening. Now go do something brave.